Welcome to the Diversity and Inclusion on Air podcast. This podcast is a program of the Association of American Veterinary Medical Colleges Diversity Matters Initiative. This podcast explores various issues related to diversity and inclusion in the veterinary profession and provides the AAVMC an opportunity to provide ongoing diversity programming to our member institutions as well as all diversity professionals. My name is Dr. Lisa Greenhill, and I'm the Senior Director for Institutional Research and Diversity at the AAVMC. So in this episode of On Air, we are continuing the discussion on the importance of affinity groups. So in health professions, we see all kinds of groups, specifically specialty organizations around specific species, practice areas, all kinds of different things within veterinary medicine, especially. Historically, we haven't seen the emergence of affinity groups in veterinary medicine like we have in human health disciplines like the National Medical Association, which is historically the kind of Black doctors. Often advocates for such organizations are asked, is there really a need for affinity groups based on race and ethnicity or gender or other demographics? The short answer is yes. And some of the conversations, the reasons why is the conversations are different. They're more nuanced and they offer a different kind of much needed support for those professionals who choose to be members. We hear that loud and clear. We heard that loud and clear in my episode featuring the British Veterinary Ethnicity and Diversity Society. And now we're bringing the conversation back stateside to this episode to talk about the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association. So I am joined today by Dr. Rachel Cezar, one of the founders of that group. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Lisa.
You are one of the very few repeat guests on D&I on Air, so welcome back. Rachel was on our episode in our first season discussing public or federal practice in the early days of the show. So a lot has happened since then. Tell us about yourself. What are you doing these days?
All right, great. Thanks, Lisa, for inviting me again to be on your show. So currently, I still am with the federal government. I'm actually director in the Department of Agriculture for animals coming into the country. I regulate those and supervise about 9 employees doing that. However, in the past few years, I've had a very big interest in getting involved in organized veterinary medicine. And I have been the president of our Vivaldi Women's Veterinary Leadership Development Initiative, as well as I've been on the House of Delegates for the AAVMA. Cool. And since being involved with organized veterinary medicine, I've realized that there is a need for another type of association, such as the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association. So that's why I'm one of the founding members to get that moving and hopefully in progression in 2019.
Awesome. So what is the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association?
Okay, so that association basically, it started out as a Facebook group,
okay,
and that's pretty much how it's been forming right now. We started, I think, in 2014,
okay.
And it was basically started just to make sure that there's an area that could focus on other different cultures that are involved, that are in veterinary medicine, okay. Especially those that are underrepresented, and then also they can network and work together on different issues that they may see, because there is such an underrepresentation of different cultures in
sure.
veterinary medicine. And also, a lot of our founding members, there's just 5 of us right now, but I know that there's 3 of them that are previous presidents of Voice,
okay.
veterinary students, 1 in culture and ethnicity. And so that group was specifically focusing on ethnicity and cultures, but just in veterinary school.
Right.
So once they graduated and they realized that, like, wow, I still need that networking, that connection, that able to discuss any issues, to talk about cultural competency and help with the disparities of ethnic backgrounds. It'd be great to have a professional group in that manner. Mm-hmm. So that's where they had realized, to try to help form this association.
Sure. So what's the mission?
So the mission is basically we're making sure that, 1, have a network of availability for, like I said, different cultures, different ethnicities, to be able to to work with each other, and then also to discuss openly about different cultural competencies, and also to help with making sure that we can look at helping the veterinary profession become more like our society, look like our society. And that's one of our big things, is to try to help with getting underrepresented cultures into the profession. That's one of the big areas. And also too, one of the things we want to be looking at is trying to help in the underserved communities.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a lot of different those communities that don't understand the needs for veterinary medicine for their animals. And so we feel like, if there is going to be different ethnicities and cultures that are going to be in our profession, then they could be able to go out there and speak to them and teach them as well about veterinary medicine and the needs for that for their animals.
Sure. I mean, I think it's really important for folks to understand and appreciate that there really is a need for affinity groups based on different demographics. I mean, I think that what's interesting, in having worked in other health professions, what's interesting in veterinary medicine is that not only do I see kind of groups along practice areas, but I see groups, I mean, like kind of, like internal medicine practice area, but then there's also kind of species specific groups. And it seems very easy for folks to say, well, of course, all of the poultry people want to get together and talk about poultry, right? I mean, or all the equine people want to get together and talk about horses because, maybe AVMA doesn't have enough time or space or whatever. Of course, they're concerned about horses and poultry and stuff too, but that's can't be the only thing that they talk about. It doesn't absolve the big organizations from talking about those things, but there needs to be a space. And I think that what is important for folks to understand is that different demographic groups also kind of need that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really important. Just because, I mean, I've been one of very few, if only the only one, like at the equine group and speaking, and it kind of, it's kind of, feels worrisome. I'm worried about being that only one, and I'm like, and so it's to have someone else that can understand that and that you could talk with about that, and just to have a better comfort zone about certain issues. No, I think it's really important.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's not just a professional issue, but it is a wellness issue, and that I don't think that okay, so yeah, you're at the equine meeting and maybe you go to a different meeting and then nobody's talking about horses, and it's kind of lonely, right? Right. And so, yes, you can be at AVMA or AAVMC, and you can certainly be talking about diversity, but there's not going to always be an opportunity to kind of immerse yourself in that topic. Right. And so having an organization that allows you to kind of really think about what does it mean? What does diversity mean? How do you meet these different needs? How do you promote wellness? Because I think that folks forget that being isolated is not good for your emotional well-being.
No, it's not.
It's not good for your emotional well-being. And so these groups really provide that network of support that I think a lot of folks need. According to the Census Bureau, the profession is still about 92 to 93% white.
Great. Yeah, it is. And that's the thing too, is like, and if you see our whole society and how multicultural it is, and it's even becoming more bilingual as well. And that's the thing, is that, a lot of people will just don't have the bilingual background, and that's not available. And that's where we do need to be recruiting and looking at individuals that could help with, the needs that we need to be able to meet this profession, to get to like our bilingual community as well. So that's what's really important, to try to diversify as much as possible our profession.
Yeah. So who's leading this charge? Who are you working with to kind of build this association?
Okay, so the individuals right now that I'm working with is Kara Williams, and she actually graduated from Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin. And she's currently now working with USDA in the Food Safety and Inspection Services Program as a public health veterinarian. Tina Tran, who actually graduated from Illinois.
Okay.
And she's actually starting her own practice of house calls in the Arizona area. Yep. And then Marie Quexel, she actually graduated from, oh my gosh, I have this right, Ohio State.
Okay.
And she is in the Northwest area as well. I believe either California or Oregon area, or Washington. And also Alexandra something. Sorry. It's Alexander Levy. Yes. Alexander J. Okay, I can't get her name right. Sorry, Alexandra J.
Okay.
She actually graduated from North Carolina State.
Okay.
And she is working for in Fredericksburg, Maryland. Is it Frederick, Maryland?
Frederick, Maryland?
Yeah, Frederick, Maryland.
Yeah.
For an Army Research Center.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yep. So yeah, so there's a variety of all of our different careers too. Which I'm always very excited to have around, and that because I think that's one of the big things too I like to always promote is our veterinary profession and the diversity of all the careers that we can accomplish with our going that pathway in the veterinary medicine.
So you've got a number of different schools represented. You've got different kinds of practice areas represented. That's really sounds like a really cool power bunch there. Yeah,
and one of the things too that we want to make sure to have is that for this association, we want to make sure that anyone that is interested or don't want to be involved in veterinary medicine or animal science to get involved in this association. Okay. So technicians, receptionists, assistants, anyone that's like, hey, I really want to be a part of this and help promote the veterinary medicine profession and trying to get it out there in different cultures and different ethnicities, and also help with serving the underrepresented communities.
Awesome.
So yeah, no, that's where we want to make sure that it's really all for one in this, because that's where we notice, there's some associations that just really focus on just veterinarians, but we want to have veterinary technicians and nurses and so forth.
Right, the whole profession.
Yes.
Pre-vets, can they come and hang out too?
Yeah, no, definitely. One of the big things that we want to try to do soon, because we are working right now on our bylaws to become a fully functional nonprofit, is that we want to start a mentoring program, because we noticed that a lot of individuals like to have someone right now to talk to about getting to veterinary school, or while they're in veterinary school, that could be their cultural background or be in their interest of what they want to learn in school or outside of out after school. So we're going to be looking at, I know there's a way, or I think on our Facebook group, there's a way to probably start a mentoring program. So we're going to be trying to start that pretty soon.
Awesome. So you said the whole profession. So, one of the big questions for folks who, again, tend to be a little bit skeptical about affinity groups. All right, I'm going to be blunt. You all know I'm blunt on the show. So here we go. Can white people join?
Can white people join?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
See?
Yeah. No, that's funny. Because one of my friends on Facebook, because what I do for the Facebook group is that I try to get all of my friends to join the multicultural group. And he asked actually my husband and said, hey, why did Rachel invite me to join this multicultural group? I'm white. They were like, well, because you you're very promoted and you're helpful. You're an ally. So you're cool. And I'm like, and not that people aren't cool, but it's just that, he's really comfortable and that's the thing. And he's very supportive. Yeah. And I'm like, and I think that's the thing is just like with the LGBT groups, there's allies, you don't have to be LGBT, but you're supportive of them. Right. And then I think that's the thing too, is just knowing that, knowing who you are and and who you want to help and support, I think that's always what matters.
Yeah. I mean, I think that every kind of movement in history is, you know, a key to success is allyship, right? You need allies. And so I think that what I tell people about affinity groups, and again, it's that we know that groups like AAVMC and groups like AVMA will be supportive, we'll have programming, we'll have conversations, but we also recognize that we have a broader mission. We also have a million different topics that we're covering, right? And to have organizations like Voice or Broad Spectrum or Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association to kind of be able to take some of these issues, drill down, and make that your sole focus helps all of us, right? So yeah, so come on over, join that Facebook group. Where can they find the Facebook group? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association, just MCVMA. We also are creating or have created a website, and that's mcvma.org. Just started Instagram and a Twitter account, and we have a LinkedIn too. So we're really trying to like push as much as we can in social media to get the word out. I know one big thing that we just got asked to do is in the Bronx area, the mayor that's there, they're trying to help with the underserved area to have the students look at animal science and veterinary medicine and work with the shelters there too. But they want to also have veterinarians or veterinary technicians come out and talk about their careers to them.
Absolutely.
So then they can, because that's what's always really important is that like a lot of people say like, well, I don't want to consider that profession because I don't see anyone else that looks like me in there. And that's where it's like when you get to talk to someone that looks like you, and you're like, wow, you know, maybe I could do it too.
Right.
Or they know about what you dealt with or the challenges you had. Then they're okay with like, you know, considering it as well. And, you know, and that's the main thing is like, you know, we're wanting to try to look like our society. Because that's what's necessary. And that would actually, in the end, help our profession grow, help our economy boost. Because then that's trying to get, you know, more people to be wanting veterinary medicine for veterinary care for their animals. Because that's always a concern is like, you know, why is this person calling me or what do they want from me? And that's where you just gotta want to make sure that, you know, everyone's going to be comfortable talking with other folks.
Yeah.
So
looking at their the MCVMA's Facebook page, they have this great, lots of great information there. I just want to kind of take a minute to read their vision statement because I love vision statements and I love mission statements, and both of them are perfectly short, almost like memorizable. You can just memorize them and go forth and do amazing things. So the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association's vision is to foster a community of veterinary professionals from diverse backgrounds and cultures to create a network for its members to provide support for each other within the profession and to harness the collective knowledge of its members to address both its members' needs and the needs of a multicultural society. So that's the vision statement. Awesome. And the mission is the mission of the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association is to promote diversity and cultural competency within the veterinary profession so as to better serve a diverse and multicultural society. Sweet, short, to the point. Definitely check out their Facebook page. So what kinds of things, I know that you said that you all are in this kind of organizational period. You definitely have a Facebook presence. What do you see happening in 2019 for the group?
Well, I think in 2019, what we're going to be trying to do a lot of is trying to promote the association. And when we go out to different meetings and so forth, like one of them, Marie Quixel, she got nominated the scholarship for the Veterinary Leadership Conference at AAVMA. So she's going to be going to that. I'm going to be networking with individuals and talking about the association and also getting some continuing education on veterinary leadership while she's there. So that's a wonderful thing. And then there's a voice retreat, National Voice Retreat.
Absolutely.
And I believe Kira is going to be going to that. in Wisconsin, I believe.
Yes.
Yep. So so she's going to be doing that, and then I'm hoping to come to the AAVMC Iverson Bell Symposium and network there, as well as try to talk to individuals about the association and what we're trying to do, and also try to get from the different faculty that'll be there and the deans about what their thoughts would be about the needs and concerns about trying to enhance our diversity in the profession. And then we're planning on being also at the AAVMA convention. Hopefully we submitted some sessions, and hopefully we get those around, or some hot topics, and then help with any other diversity initiatives that they're going to be having at the convention.
Awesome. So a couple of those dates. Rachel mentioned the Voice retreat. So they will have their national retreat at University of Wisconsin at Madison, January 18th and 20th. It's called Culture Shock. Woo. You can find them, of course, on Facebook at under groups under Vet Voice. And then the AAVMC meeting, of course, will be in DC in March. You would think I would know the dates. Those dates will be March 6th through 10th here in Washington, D.C. So where can folks learn more about MCVMA?
So really the best area is the Facebook group that we have, and then also like I said, we're going to be creating more of our website and putting information on there, and basically also to showing the different resources that are available for diversity training, cultural sensitivity training, different types of resources for pre-veterinary students for summer camps, or high school students for summer camps, or different things in that nature. So basically, I mean, that's what we're going to be hoping the website can be, is more of a whole national resource for all the different availability of activities. Yep. And yep. Oh, I was going to say.
No, go ahead.
Oh, and then we also are, like I said, we're on Instagram and LinkedIn, and as well as Twitter. But we do also have an email account if anyone is interested in contacting us directly to learn more, or to see about being more involved and helping us form more. That would be great. If anyone would like to be included and be one of the founding board members as well, we're always looking at other individuals that would like to volunteer and support this mission as well.
So what's that email address?
It is, let me see again, I have it right here. It's multiculturalvma@gmail.com.
All right, multiculturalvma@gmail.com. Definitely check out their Facebook page. They have all kinds of great links to programs at AAVMC member institutions. Certainly, there are also job postings. I just referred an institution recently to the page because they were really interested in trying to find alternative ways of tapping into a more diverse talent pool. So I said, well, you need to go on over to this page and check it out.
Yeah. And then also too, we're hoping that there will be individuals, or there will be groups or associations that would like to collaborate with us. We would like to see help scholarships, with pre-veterinary students to try to get into, and try to help diverse the pool for the veterinary profession. So that's where we really like to see if we do get any funding to try to help towards those scholarships for them.
Awesome. Yeah, there's certainly great opportunities for collaboration. There's also, of course, BVEDS, which was on the show recently, the British Veterinary Ethnicity and Diversity Society out in the UK. There's also the Native American Veterinary Medical Association, which I see a lot of cross-posting between groups on Facebook, so also check them out as well. So yeah, this is really, really exciting. So if you are interested in finding a group whose sole mission is really devoted to promoting diversity, expanding diversity in veterinary medicine, looking at issues around access to care in marginalized communities, and really kind of just broadening the windows of the profession, definitely check out the Multicultural Veterinary Medical Association. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for another great show. And again, one of very, very few people that has been on the show twice, because we have so many amazing topics. We'll have to have you back on the show to talk about what you're doing professionally now, because I'm always intrigued. Rachel and I are really good friends, and every now and again we are like at dinner or you know, out and about, and she's getting a call from an airport for some random animal that's like smuggled into them. Yes, it's always really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm talking about the rhino.
And again, those are not, that's not a job. I mean, it's an important job, but it's a job that I don't think a lot of people think about.
No, not at all.
Right? Yeah, so very cool stuff. So this is another great episode of AAVMC's Diversity and Inclusion on Air. Please be sure to check out our Facebook page online, Diversity and Inclusion on Air. You can certainly find the show on YouTube. You can find our episodes on our SoundCloud channel, but you can also check us out on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Stitcher. You can find us now on Spotify. And if you are one of those Amazon people who like Alexa, you can actually just say, hey, Alexa, play AAVMC's Diversity and Inclusion on Air. I just found that out. How cool is that? So that's it for another episode. We will see you next time. Thank you so much again, Dr. Cezar. And we will see you next time. Thank you.